And what's going on, guys? Straw Hat Brian. I'm back again here to deliver my One Piece chapter 897 review for you guys. It is just dropped. Chapter just dropped. If you haven't read it, bro, what are you doing with your life? Because we about to talk about this chapter. Is there anything left to say? Bro, let's talk about this chapter. So, cover story. You know we got to talk about the cover story. Last cover story, Hydrogen became the new giant pirates captain. This week, they got themselves a shipwright, and his name is Stanson. Yeah, it kind of looks like a like oven, just a giant version of oven. I ain't really got nothing else to say to that. Like I said, Hydrogen's story is kind of boring. Like Leo's was also kind of boring, but I mean, at least Leo like helped out like this, island that was destroyed previously, and now they're like going to be a part of the royal escorts to the reverie for King Riku. They got something going on. Like Hydrogen is kind of like it's too bland for me. So I mean, I ain't got really no predictions, no nothing on that. So let's actually talk about the chapter because this chapter, my dude, was lit. So everyone is anxiously waiting for Luffy to arrive through the lone mirror that's on Coco Island. Everybody's waiting for him. Everybody's waiting. Straw Hats is waiting. They're in the middle of the ocean. They got Smoothie's fleet behind them. They got Oven's fleet, by the coastline. So they just sitting here like, well, we just stuck here sitting ducks and we waiting on Luffy to try and figure out what we're going to do next. So that happens. Switch back over to the mirror world. Peckham's is telling Luffy his plan is to take Brule hostage and use her as a shield while he enters his uncontrollable Sulong form and basically use that as a means to help the Straw Hats escape. So basically, while he just, throwing the punches and fighting everybody, he's expecting Luffy to just somehow make his escape. That's his plan, and his plan isn't fully thought out because he's only one person. He has no allies. So I kind of already knew like this plan of Peckham's was not going to go the way that Peckham's was expecting it to go. So, and we also find out that Pedro was the only one who could keep Peckham's under control. Like his voice was the only voice that was able to reach Peckham's while he was in that uncontrollable Sulong form. Because once he's in that form, he can't hear nobody. He's just rampaging. So he was going to use that as a means to sacrifice himself for the Straw Hats' escape and for Luffy to escape. So moves on. Peckham transforms into a Sulong and, he exits out the mirror world. He has Brule in his hand. He's got a gun in his hand. You know what I mean? And he's hiding Luffy in between the space of himself and Brule. So he tries to transform, but he ends up getting one shot by Oven. And my problem with that was when Carrot turned into a Sulong, it was over. Like, it was great. But I guess because the lack of control, he can't do anything. But I imagine because he lacked control, he was going to be that much more stronger. And when you saw him on Zoe, like, dude was destroying houses. He was able to lift up large boulders with ease. And Peckham's right now is putting Minx to shame. Like, you telling me you can't fight these people? Like, you had the Minx fighting the Beast Pirates like it was nothing, going days, fighting, day and night, fighting, recovery, then keep on fighting. But Peckham's couldn't even get the job done. So I got like a huge problem with that because I'm like, dude, you're basically a sacrificial pawn. You know what I mean? Whether it's to the Straw Hats or to the Big Mom Pirates, like your role isn't even that significant where you didn't even do anything. You didn't even do anything. Like his only role was to just get Luffy out of the mirror world. And then once he failed, he drops Luffy. Sanji picks him up and he's trying to escape via Skywalk and he one-shots the Big Mom Pirate Lazon with his flambe kick. But, even for Lazon, I'm like thinking like, okay, well, I was hoping he was going to do a little more, but he got one shot at too. But, after all that, after Peckham gets one shot by Oven and gets surrounded by Big Mom Pirates, they're gouging his eyes out. They're like, yo, you know what? How we going to handle this? We're going to gouge his eyes out and we just going to make sure he can't transform into a Sulong again. But my thing is, like, if you're going to have that, Like, if you're just gonna have Peckham's transform for nothing, like, you shouldn't have even had him transform. You should have just had him take the blows and just have him just basically be the distraction, because he's about to really get his eyes gouged out for really what reason? Like, he's about to, like, he didn't even do anything. He made no type of significant impact other than getting Luffy out of the mirror world and into Sanji's hands. Other than that, like, Peckham's role has been very minor. Even in throughout this whole arc, his role has been so minor. And I dislike that. I very much dislike that. But I mean, I guess with so many characters being introduced, I mean, how could you really give time to everybody? But I mean, still, I feel like if you're going to make Peckham's like a prominent character, or to at least have a prominent role, like, give him some time to shine. Like, his only time to shine was he actually just got Luffy out the mirror world. That was it. He didn't do anything. He did nothing. And his Sulong transformation, you didn't really get to see it all the way. So it's like, you're nowhere near as strong as Carrot. Your Sulong transformation is useless, basically. We don't even need Peckham's in the story. Like, Peckham's is nothing. Anyway, I digress. We're going to move on. So, Sanji, he gets intercepted. I don't even think we actually get to see the person's name who intercepted him when he was trying to carry away Luffy. But when they got distracted, well, Sanji got distracted by Peckham's getting his eyes gouged out. Basically, he got dropped, and then they got surrounded, and basically they're about to get beat to death. Him and Luffy about to get beat to death by the surrounding Big Mom pirates. And when you think all hope is lost, I thought it was over for these guys. I'm like, man, like, what's gonna happen? Like, how are they gonna get out of this situation? And then my G, Germa, 666, made it. Like, they arrived, they burnt up there's a huge explosion, they burnt up all the ships that's by the harbor. The entire harbor fleet destroyed, like, in an instant, and it looks so awesome. Like, you can see, like, all the ships burning. Like, you can't even tell me, like, half of that fleet gone, half of them ships gone, simply because Germa's firepower, that scientific firepower. And we finally gonna see what the Germa is capable of. And then that scene when the Germa is right there, they surrounding Sanji and Luffy, protecting them. And you got Ichiji, and I'm wondering why his hand was full of blood, but I'm guessing, like, he must have just killed somebody. So, or he killed Judge. That'd have been even greater, because we don't even know what happened with Judge after he got one shot by Big Mom. So we don't even know whether he's dead or not. But we got Ichiji running the show, calling shots, making a name for himself. And I love that part. I honestly think that the Germa coming in at the end, that was the best part, because you were thinking, like, how is Luffy going to get out of this situation? How are the Straw Hats even going to get out of this situation? Easy. They need the firepower, and they got the firepower. They got the entire Germa kingdom under Ichiji's control, the most ruthless man in the Germa kingdom, the man with no heart, the man who does not care. And the sole reason why he wants to intervene and interfere with the Straw Hats' business is because he wants to lead the Big Mom Pirates with something to remember. And I think that was powerful. And you can see it in all of their eyes. Bloodlust. They have bloodlust in their eyes. So, remember, Ichiji was, I mean, granted, they were kind of cool because they didn't have emotions. Like, oh, well, this is how we're going to bite the dust. But once they were saved, I think a lot of those things kind of, like, started messing with Ichiji's and, like, all the other Germa kids. I think that started messing with their lineage factors. And, like, because their lineage factors were manipulated to the point so that they couldn't feel, like, any joyous feelings. So the only joyous feelings they feel are actually when people suffer, or when they see people go through their own problems, and when they're actually dealing, like, devastating blows and doing things that's for the betterment of the entire Germa kingdom themselves. That's the only time they actually feel happy. They don't really feel happy for just, like, good things. They don't feel happy for, like, candy and stuff like that. Like, those things, they don't care about that stuff. They don't have the emotions to care about that stuff. But I feel like because Luffy and Sanji saved the Germa, I feel like now that doesn't sit right with him. So now I think he feels like he has a debt to pay. But the way that Ichiji is going to repay that debt is in blood. And it's in the blood of the Big Mom Pirates. So this next chapter is about to be lit. I don't know if One Piece is on break. I didn't really see it at the end on the final page. I don't know or not. But definitely I'm going to drop another video talking more about certain things that happen within this chapter review. And honestly, I gotta rate this chapter a solid 4 out of 5. It would have been a 5 out of 5 if Peckham's would have did more. Peckham's is the reason why this chapter is a 4 instead of a 5 out of 5. So I think it was great. Didn't really get to see too much of Brother Lizon, but that's cool. I'm hoping we get to definitely this next chapter get a full scope of what the Germa kids, Sanji's siblings, I wanna see exactly what they're capable of. Like, why was the Germa revered to be such a powerful mythological army? But we know they real. So why are they so powerful? I'm hoping we get that. We get that this next chapter. And not know, like, we just focus on the Straw Hats and we get nothing about the fight with the Germa. Like, I need to see Ichiji, you know what I mean, drop some bodies. Like, he gotta catch some bodies, you know what I mean? So this is my review. Like the video if you dislike the video. Like the video if you like the video. Dislike the video if you dislike the video. Comment, share, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe, for more great content. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day.